we have to break this shit down because there is a lot to digest. All right, here we go.
Have you heard of Ermin's soul before? The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom.
Yep.
Because her consciousness is directly connected to it.
Ooh, that's interesting. You're connected to the ley lines. You're connected to the flow of the world.
To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness.
This is...
Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity a few hundred years ago.
Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity? So did they just never see her and assume she's dead, or did she actually, like, bite the dust?
The sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and...
Oh, they found the newly born Dendro Archon. Whoa, that's interesting. I thought they, like, I was always curious. I'm like, how is a new Archon formed? You know what I mean? If an Archon dies, is a new one rise from the corpse? You know what I mean? Is this reincarnation? Is this rebirth? Like the Dendro Archon died and dropped a seed, and from that seed sprouted a new Archon in its place? They said disappeared, and you know the typical anime trope, no body, no death. I'm very interested to see if we find out how things went down during the calamity.
And whisked her back to Sumeru.
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. Nilu's dance of Subzeros is about to begin.
Okay, so this isn't Nilu talking, it's somebody else. I love the voice. So I did call that in the promotional video. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is the Subzeros festival, because we've heard about it. So we do know that there's a festival in Sumeru called the Subzeros Festival, and it's to commemorate the birth of Lesser Lord Kusanali. So it's basically Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. So I wonder if that's gonna be a festival that we get to take part in, or maybe if that's like, you know, if this is what is implying, like, that there's a festival going on, because there's like a bunch of people and there's like a bunch of like flowers and petals and dancing and a bunch of stuff like that. I don't know if this is just like a regular Tuesday in Sumeru, or if there's actually stuff going on here. I think the only time we've ever heard of the Subzeros festival was during the Windbloom festival in version 1.4. People of Mondstadt have many special rituals during this cozy romantic time known as the Windbloom festival. Seeing such lovely sights reminds me of the festival of my hometown, Sumeru. Yep. Okay, so Sumeru, Mondstadt, Liyue, and Snezhnaya confirmed for additional festivals, which implies that the other regions are also going to have them. Ah, I suppose you're not familiar with our traditions. Every year we celebrate the Subzeros festival to commemorate the birth of Lesser Lord Kusanali. What the fuck is all this? But if you don't want to compare the atmosphere, I'd say there's some differences between the festivities now and the ones back home. Speaking of which, I wasn't able to take part in this year's Subzeros festival either. It's been so long. I wonder how things are at the academia nowadays. Okay, so he said the Lesser Lord. So is that like beneath the Archon, like the Archon's disciples or something like that? Maybe the heir of the Archon if they have a child. I do know that the Dendro God is the youngest of the gang, and he was just recently like brought into the fold like 500 years ago, which is very strange because that kind of lines up with the, I guess, a catastrophe that took place 500 years ago. It was Khanria, but yeah, I know the Dendro God was like 500 years ago or something like that. But yeah, it's basically the five-head god, the god of wisdom. Nilu's dance of Subzeros is about to begin.
The most important performance at the Subzeros festival.
The goddess of flowers began to dance. Countless beautiful Padisars began to bloom wherever she stepped. Though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
It's literally Nahita's birthday. I said that, yeah.
The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time.
Wow.
I can't wait for you to...
Dude, the legless ones. Feel like these mushrooms are gonna be talking to us, kind of like Zamaran was. Sheesh, room, where you at?
Trainee Forest Ranger Carly, reporting for duty.
Yo, my girl. Hi!
Colin Amber, help!
Wait, what is that? Colin Ambar? AKA my version of Baron Bunny? Oh, okay. People are just saying Colin Amber.
Colin Amber, help!
Sounds like it, I guess.
The Withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the Withering Zones here for a long time.
Withering Zones? Yeah, so the forests are dying, and we gotta find out why.
Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline.
God, this music is so fucking good. He's literally like a Dendro Ganyu, kinda, with a little bit of Aloy.
It's called an Akasha terminal. It's a tool produced by the academia
Dude, we have the Akasha system hooked up to ourselves. I feel like we probably shouldn't, given how the events of the Golden Apple and everything progressed. I feel like Dottore or the research of Golden Apple 2.8, I feel like they're just gonna try to hack the brains of all of the people who are linked up to the Akasha system. And I just don't think this is like, I feel like this technology is gonna backfire on the entire nation.
The academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Ruka Devata.
You may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need.
Yeah, accessing any knowledge you need for anybody, it's basically like the internet, and it's just like, I don't know, the internet's like brings out the worst in people. So I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like nobody should have that much access to anything, because it just undoes them as a person, I think.
The Divine Knowledge Capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days.
The Divine Knowledge Capsule.
The Divine Knowledge Capsule should be up for a secret.
Yeah, this doesn't fill me with any type of, it just feels ominous, like it just shifts to red like that. And basically, if you get this, you can basically harness the wisdom of the gods.
Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods.
Celestia would like to know your location. Bro, I don't know if you want that kind of wisdom. I think it's better to just stay ignorant. Y'all don't want the smoke. You really don't.
I need you to find someone, a traveling merchant.
What kind of products do you seek, my dear customers?
Music is freaking Shazam!
Here's the goods!
God, the music's really good.
It really sounds like something big outside of the city is being handled.
Oh my fucking God! This music is so good!
All will suffer retribution together.
Yo, what the fuck was that?
Mark my words, our God.
Our God shall return? See, because that, I'm like, okay, well, first off, what the fuck does that mean? Is Ruka Devata actually dead or just MIA? And is Nahida actually the Dendro Archon, or is she like a stand-in? You know what I mean? It's so weird.
God shall return. All will suffer retribution.
Bro, this looks like a fucking, like, pterodactyl. It looks like it has wings now.
Together.
Oh my God. Literally dinosaurs. Yeah, that might be, I don't know whose voice that is, but I don't know if it's Sino or if it's just someone we don't know, like a random NPC it could be. I don't know.
You all saw that just now?
Ooh.
The Grand Sage ordered us to stop the performance.
Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Ruka Devata's death.
You kind of have to, because if this is a new Dendro Archon, what are you supposed to there can't be two Dendro Archons, can there? You know? Like, there can only be, like, one Gnosis, one Archon title. That's crazy, too, because they mentioned that Nilou's dance is the most important part of the festival, and now they're being ordered to stop the dance, so it's like, okay, something crazy's happening, clearly.
See Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as
There are two Electro Archons, technically. I don't think there were two. I think what happened was Makoto was the Archon, and they decided amongst themselves to both play the role. But it's whoever has the Gnosis. And Makoto had the Gnosis until she died, then A took it. Visually, they both pretended to be one, like there was one Archon amongst the people, but there was always two of them. You know what I mean? The Archon is the title bestowed upon them. It's not like there were twin gods, but there's only one Archon. But it can still mean that there are two potential Archons alive? I don't think so, because the Archon is the one who has the Gnosis. That would have to mean that there would be two Dendro Gnosis, and I don't think that's possible. So Scaramouche is an Archon now? I mean the titles bestowed by Celestia. Whoever physically has... Y'all are arguing semantics now. Y'all, come on now. Behave yourselves. You said whoever has the Gnosis, and that's what I mean. You're taking my words too literally. Anyways, chat, you're being a little three-head. I don't appreciate that.
confirmation of Greater Lord Ruka Devata's death.
Oh, you know what? I like the symbolism here. You got the bird in the cage. That's basically how Nahida's been treated as the new Lesser Lord. She's like trapped up in her tower. She can only communicate through the Akasha system. I like that. I like that attention to detail there.
Aren't you ashamed of pursuing such frivolous and meaningless activities in this land of knowledge and reason?
Who the fuck is talking here? Maybe it could be one of the sages, perhaps?
This device, it's extracting energy from the ley line.
It looks like he used the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
The Subzeros festival.
Holy fuck.
What? Go celebrate the birth of that god.
What's happening?
Holy fuck. See right here, oh my god, that's a nice fucking freeze frame. Holy shit. So what's happening here is like, I think that machine that's like crawling around is actually the technology from the desert, and these Eremite are the descendants of that technology. So look here, right? So he's looking at them and it's like, you're a good person, you're a good person, you're a good person, you're a good person. But then when it gets to the traveler, then it's like corruption.
What's happening? Oh, come on.
Our Archon created the utopia that is Sumeru City for all
Holy
scholars
fuck.
who sought validity, verity, and truth, while people like you wish to defile it.
This is crazy. Oh my god! Aether has a... Do you guys see that? Aether has a flower crown. Hold on. This is the true digging that I'm doing for the Genshin community. Flower crown Aether, boys! Let's go! I was like, wait, I definitely didn't see that the first time. Holy moly. Okay, let's try this again.
While people like you wish to defile.
Yeah, they're showing Nilou way too much. And I'm like, why? Is she like, she's been shown, she was showcased in the promotional. I just don't know how important she is. She's doing this Subzeros dance too. It's like, I don't know, man. I got my eye on her though.
Wish to defile it.
It would be
I don't know what the fuck that like orb of destruction is, but that shit just wrecked us.
too risky to continue the Subzeros festival at this point. I don't want to get everyone in trouble.
We don't have many more festivals to waste.
Jesus. The Abyss are here too. Bro, what the fuck is this? Dude, they're like... Dude, the fucking tree is disappearing. What is... Like, what? Like, what the fuck is happening here? And now we're at the tree.
The world forget.
The world forget me. That's probably Ruka Devata. You know what? Ruka Devata is basically like, yo, my people fucking loved me and believed in me and had so much faith in me that they're willing to fucking try to bring my ass back, then deal with the world as it is and try to move past it. You know what I mean? And Aether is at the tree, and they said that her, like, she basically drew her power from the tree. So maybe Aether's gonna communicate with Ruka Devata, kind of how Makoto was in the, like, a part of her was in the Grand Narukami Shrine tree. So, like, Ruka Devata's essence will probably be in this tree, and she'll probably talk to the traveler and communicate stuff. But I really just think, like, the scholars are just like, bro, Ruka Devata did all this shit for us. We're gonna bring her back. We need her. We don't need this little child who doesn't know what the hell that they're doing. You know what I mean? And it's like they can't move on, which sucks, because Zhongli's whole thing was he had to make sure that his people were ready to say goodbye to him before he moved on. Like, Zhongli basically was like, okay, I need to make sure that my people are good before I decide to pull this shit. But now it seems like this is the result of what happens when your people aren't ready to say goodbye to you. You know what I mean? You got all these fucking crazy ass scholars that are like, we gotta do this for our god. And then shit goes to shit, you know? Inazuma didn't have to worry because their god died, but A just kind of replaced Makoto's in a sense. Like, they still had a god for them to serve, but she drastically changed how her sister ran things. No, I'm saying they did, but like they weren't godless. Like, these people are basically trying to run, like, it doesn't even seem like Nahida has any control over this place. The humans, the people are the ones that are calling the shots. And I guess that's its own version of problems. But see, here's the thing, right? The Inazumans never knew Makoto died because to the common citizens, there was only one god. So when Makoto died, A just replaced her. So nothing changed for the people. It only started, she started changing. Like, from the Inazumans' perspective, their god just randomly changed one day. Like, she just started doing shit different. But they didn't know it was because there was another god all along. So, like, this time, the god's dead. The people know that she's not there. And they're running stuff. And they have, like, no idea what the fuck to do because they like, relied on her so much. I don't know. I guess from the perspective of the people, like, their god had changed things, but they weren't like, oh man, we're godless. What are we gonna do? How is our nation gonna progress? This is very interesting though, because like that potential, and then they have all this knowledge and insight, and they're just digging deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's like, bro, y'all don't have a god to keep y'all in line, and y'all are gonna catch a case with Celestia if you keep this shit up. What a great fucking trailer, dude. My God. That was a good trailer. Yeah, so there's like this weird like glitch effect on Nahida right here. And then boom, she's gone. So is she not real? Is she a figment of our imagination? Is someone hacking into the fucking mainframe, into the Matrix? I don't know. I have no clue. I did notice that, but I was just like, I had no comment on it because I was like, I don't really know what to make of that. It's interesting, clearly, but like, I don't know. I wonder if Nahida, you know how like Makoto put a part of herself in the Musono Ishin and like waited for like the proper time to like reveal herself? I wonder if Ruka Devata did the same thing for the Akasha system, like as a part of her in that system, and it's manifesting through Nahida somehow. I don't know. Yeah, like a fragment or something, or like a memory, because she's a part of the ley line. She's part of the Irminsul tree, which is a ley line tree, and ley lines manifest memories of a point in time. I don't know. I really don't. I'm just like fucking spitballing and saying random shit, and it might not even like mean anything, but I'm just wondering if Nahida isn't like what she seems to be, and if it's just Ruka Devata trying to like reach her people somehow based on what happened to her 500 years ago. What do you think about the lady in the preview? Oh, you mean the one that just randomly disappeared out of nowhere? That's another thing too. That's basically what just happened here, except we saw it in real time. So I don't know. That would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Cause like they just found Nahida. So like Nahida's origin is just so like, we're obviously going to end up getting her as a playable character, and she's going to have a story quest. And I feel like that's where we're really going to learn about her. And it seems like all the Archons are getting 2 story quests. So down the road, we'll probably get Nahida story quest part 2 or Lesser Lord Kusanali story quest part 2, whatever her name is going to end up being by the end of it. And then we'll find out. But like right now, she is such an anomaly. And then you have the Abyss that are here too. So that doesn't help either. You had like the voices that you just heard were definitely of the Abyss. I don't know if it was just the Lector or if there's like other Abyss order people here, like heralds and shit. No, that doesn't sound like Enjo. Enjo is too laid back and chill to sound that sinister. So yeah, I think that it just might be you know, general Abyss trying to fuck with shit. And then on top of that, Dotori's nowhere to be seen. So a lot of the stuff that's happening is like before the Harbingers move in for that Gnosis. And so they got all this crazy shit. I mean, this could also potentially have like, this is probably Act 1 and Act 2, right? Because in the 2.0 trailer, we saw the Raiden Shogun pull the Musono Hirotachi out of her chest, but that didn't happen until that didn't happen until Act 2. So this is probably Act 1 and Act 2 sequences happening. So we still don't know how Act 3 is going to play out and beyond. And now apparently they have a different cycle for how updates are going to come out and patches are going to come out for the story content. So we might have more than 3 we might have more than 3 story acts for the Inazuma for the Archon quest now. Yeah, 5-week updates now. Holy shit. 4 acts would be pog and feel less rush. I agree. I think 4 weeks, I think multiple acts would be good, but it's just less time to catch up on everything. It's 1 less week. I get what they're going for. It's like that 1 extra week is kind of like a dead week between patches for most people. So I understand them cutting that out, but I definitely, as for myself, I like having like that breathing room to do other stuff when I'm caught up with everything. But taking away that extra week pretty much means that they're going to just keep chugging along, and it's just going to feel like things are moving faster with that 1 week not being there anymore. So on one end, I like it because it's like you're getting 1 less week of dead space between content patches, but at the same time I do like having that breathing room to kind of do other things if I want, you know. It's not permanent, only for 3.0 to 3.3. Okay, I hope so. I guess they're just doing it for the Archon quest then, just to kind of keep the story pacing going along with exploration and world quests and puzzles and all that stuff. I mean, if that's how it's gonna be instead, then I welcome that. I don't want it to be like a permanent thing after the Archon quest storyline is wrapped up, because that would feel a little overwhelming to know that I have 1 less week that I can't do something else, or I have to be more focused or honed in on the content that's happening. Probably because of the content delay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. A lot of theories, a lot of speculation, a lot of what the fucks, a lot of crazy shit happening, a lot of it's just pieces of a puzzle. We don't have the full picture, but a lot of drama, a lot of uncertainty for the people of Inazuma, sorry, for the people of Sumeru, and I don't really know how things are gonna fare. I just feel, I honestly feel like this might be the first region that it doesn't end well. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting right now. Like, this shit does not give me good vibes, and that's kind of what I want. I really want there to feel like actual stakes and actual like turmoil and uncertainty happening, because realistically we've basically changed all these nations for the better, and there hasn't been a long-term felt consequence to anything that's happening. The Fatui doing shit, the Abyss Order doing shit, like even the internal affairs of the nation itself, everything just kind of resolves itself. But I don't know, I like me some angst here and there, and the fact that we haven't gotten any of that makes me really want that to kind of change things up with the story at the very least. So and I feel like this region and this nation is the perfect place to do it, because there's so much like holier than thou like vibes with the scholars and the sages and whatnot, these people that live like on another level compared to the common plebeians, you know, who couldn't possibly understand anything about truth and knowledge and, you know, and verity and whatever they mentioned. But like, I can sense like a lot of corruption and misinformation, and, you know, knowledge is power, knowledge is currency, knowledge is resources, and, you know, using that to your advantage and getting the things you want. And they also have like a black market, so this place isn't completely clean, and there's just so much like ingredients here that you can make something really dramatic, you know. And then they have like this shit too with like the Abyss, and I'm just like, bro, I just want this place to get fucked. Like, I just want this place to just be in shambles, to be honest. I don't want to wait to Conry and Celestia to get that, you know. And I feel like that could happen sooner rather than later. You know, you got the forest too, you got the dead forest, and I'm like, shit, dude. Yeah, I just don't want anything bad to happen to Kali. That's all I care about. I like, you know what's gonna happen too, you know, like, we're getting so attached to these characters with every patch and every update. I feel like we're gonna, like, MiHoYo's gonna fucking break us in half by the end of this game, I think. So I'd rather them ease us into it instead of us get to Celestia and Snezhnaya and Conria and then destroy us there, you know, out of nowhere, out of the blue. But yeah, like, it's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be great, and I'm very, very excited to see where this goes. I really want to learn about Ruka Devata. I'm pretty sure we're gonna learn a lot about this region, about its history, about its lore. I'm more in tune to wanting to learn about the lore now going into Sumeru than I did with Inazuma, because I think it took me until like version like 2.4, like I think it was around the time, it was right before Enkanomiya came out, that I started looking into the lore of Orobashi and Enkanomiya, and you know, and like getting into the weeds of like the nation and the past events that happened. And then I started immediately taking an interest in Inazuma's lore and backstory. And so I kind of want to hit the ground running with Sumeru's, just so I'm kind of up to date with stuff as it's happening, with books, artifacts, weapon descriptions, weapon ascension materials, character ascension materials, like anything that gives us any crumb of lore and insight into the past. I'm excited for. But yeah, this was incredible. And what's worse is that I really hope that Dotori does not, I really hope this is not the tree that Dotori, because this tree looks, you know what? This looks like the same tree Dotori's burning down in the forest. Bruh. Okay, that doesn't look exactly like it, but it looks dangerously close. So a part of me is just like, I really hope Dotori does not find that Irminsul tree and burn it to the ground. But I have a feeling that, you know, it might happen. I know this is like more fantastical and magical and whatnot, but like, look at the mountains surrounding it. Yeah, it could be the same tree. It could be the tree from a different angle. It could be a bunch of different things. I'm just curious, like, is Dotori gonna find this tree and burn it down, and we're gonna lose our connection to Ruka Devata? You know what I mean? That's like the one thing I'm thinking about right now. And we still haven't even gotten the fucking harbingers involved yet. Act 3, 4, however many acts gonna have, but when Dotori gets in, I already feel like we're just gonna be like, shit's gonna hit the fan before then, and then you're gonna throw the harbingers in, and then all bets are off. Like, it's just gonna be a clusterfuck. suck. And there's gonna be a ton of different things happening, and no one's gonna be on top of their game of like making sure, like, the Gnosis is the #1 important thing, I think, for like the overarching plot for the Harbingers. And I just feel like that's the one thing that everyone's gonna overlook with all of this, like, you know, sages versus the people versus the Archon and all that other stuff. And then the Traveler's involvement's another big thing too. I'm excited. I'm very excited. This was so freaking hype. I don't know how people are handling it. I don't know how the community is reacting to it. I already know a subset of the community is going to be upset that there's no repeatable end game content loops for content creators or meta slaves or, you know, gameplay oriented people. But bro, I'm over fucking whelmed. Lore gamers are eating good and I'm fucking gassed. So I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm very, very, very much looking forward to it. 10 days. The patch is going to be out in about 10 days. And so I'm thrilled. I really want to say thank you so much to everyone who tuned into the live stream special program. 3,300 peak viewers. That is the most viewers I've ever had in any live streams that I've ever done. And so I just really hope you guys found it entertaining and enjoyable to share version 3.0 hype with me. This video is going to be uploaded to YouTube at its earliest convenient, probably by the end of the day, just because this is a lot to kind of break down. I'm going to try to do a condensed version and go back and figure out everything and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to try to stream again after the weekend. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Appreciate all of the new followers. Please follow if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Check out the YouTube channel MurderofBirds Impact as well for more content. And yeah, Dendro is here. Sumeru is here. The new Archon quest. I called the Lost Riches event. All of y'all who didn't get a pet, you guys are able to get one now. I hope you guys like it. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. Take care.